Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Bizarre. Prime Minister weighs in on police officer's death. Power outage prompts food safety concerns in St. Anne. And later in sports, Fraser Price and Knight Wisdom named captains of Jamaica Olympic team. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. Bizarre. That's how Prime Minister Andrew Holness describes the circumstances which led to the death of a detective and an inmate at the Halfway Tree Police Station in St. Andrew Monday afternoon. Mr. Holness was speaking a short while ago at the contract signing of the St. Catherine North Police Headquarters.
My deep and sincere condolences to the officer who lost his life in a really bizarre incident at the Halfway Tree Police Station.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake says the St. Catherine North Police Headquarters project will cost some $2.2 billion.
Represents a substantial investment in the safety and security of our community. I'm aware that the necessary pre-construction activities have been completed, hence this contract signing ceremony, and it therefore gives me confidence that the project will be executed according to plan and within the expected time frame. And this project is a vital part of the government's Project Rock initiative launched 6 years ago.
Health officials in St. Anne are urging residents to exercise extreme caution when consuming meat products and dairy products. This is due to ongoing power outages in the wake of Hurricane Beryl. It's been over 2 weeks since the passage of Hurricane Beryl, and hundreds of Jamaicans remain without power. This has affected the ability of food establishments to store perishable items safely. Chief Public Health Inspector for St. Anne, Leroy Scott, warned that they lack the necessary equipment, posing a significant risk to public health.
We have so far condemned in excess of 330 kilograms of meat products, particularly meat products from commercial entities, which either suffered because they did not have adequate refrigeration or backup power supply to run their refrigeration units. And so the products were either spoiled or were in a state that they could not be safely consumed.
Mr. Scott emphasized that shelved items requiring refrigeration must be consumed within hours after being prepared.
We caution individuals, therefore, during this time to be careful with their purchases, particularly of meat products, dairy products, including milk-based juices and drinks, that those products should be refrigerated, or if you buy from the shelf, once it is open, it must be refrigerated or you consume the entire amount.
The public health chief is urging residents to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions to avoid foodborne illnesses.
So we are now going to have to be buying and eating day to day. Even tin products, they are safe once the tin is sealed. But once it is opened, it is exposed to contamination and therefore will deteriorate and can be harmful if you don't have refrigeration. So, an advice to all persons, it's tin product and it's safe, but once it is open, it's no longer safe.
Mr. Scott says the public health team will continue its monitoring of food establishments in the parish. Meanwhile, Mr. Scott is calling on residents in St. Anne to heighten surveillance for mosquito breeding sites in their environment. While acknowledging some areas are difficult to control, Mr. Scott says there are many places where residents can make a significant impact.
Not only those that you will routinely see, But there are some areas which you didn't consider, including your roof gutter. Because of the hurricane, a lot of tree leaves and debris likely to accumulate in the gutter, and it will accumulate water and breed mosquitoes.
Residents of Wharf Road, Smithville, Westmoreland staged a protest outside the JPS power plant along Paradise Main Road Tuesday morning. They are demanding the restoration of power to their community. They say after several promises, they are yet to receive light.
It's been 3 weeks now, no current, and like the light, them come around there and they fix half of it, and we the citizens, we get up, we push the whole JPS line, and we come back and we talk to them over and over, and we ask them to come every day and say tomorrow.
The very post that they said they was going to repair, I come and I tell them, say, the post don't broken, it only pulled from the earth. We as a citizen, we drop back the post and it's standing straighter than how it was. And I report it to them. Nobody do anything about it.
They say their livelihood has been severely affected.
The fisherman can't get ice to go to sea. He can't work on the boat, can't work on the engine. The dressmaker can't sew the clothes. The person, the housewife who raise chicken can't raise down chicken. Our life is in a state. We cannot bear it anymore.
I have fun all night now. I have a day that cost like 3,000, generator cost like 3,000 like every night for gas. You know, and in a wheelchair now I'm not working. So we find 3,000 a night really rough. And we just here today and we just want them just come and just fix the one wire. The one wire that is there, that is burst. We just want it to be connected today.
Military personnel are on the scene. In the meantime, residents in St. Mary took to the streets for a second day, blocking a section of the Junction Road. The residents have been venting their frustration over the lack of power since the passage of Hurricane Beryl over 2 weeks ago.
JPS come right there. The light is right on the post there. And none is done in our community. What is JPS doing? It's 3 weeks now. What is JPS doing?
Except my husband and myself, we rent generators, and we have rented generators from the electricity gone. Until now, that is 3 weeks. Calculate that. $4,000 per day for the generator. We can't use it in the day because it is going to cost more gas. $3,000 per day for gas. That's $7,000. Check the amount of money that we spent.
We have a bad up here. They all thought going for one up here, rip off one up here, because we not no light. And we not no representing, nobody not say nothing to it. We just live in a mosquito, no water, no light up here. We tired of it now. And anyone that can assist with, it will go right through. If we go right back to December, that it will go to.
On Monday, the JPS appealed for patience as it seeks to restore power across the country. The Light and Power Company says while it understands the residents' frustration, it is doing all it can to ensure the service is restored. The government has received a significant boost in its recovery efforts following Hurricane Beryl, with a $200,000 donation as well as medical equipment from the Cayman Islands. The presentation was made by Premier Juliana O'Connor-Connolly. She led a delegation on a working visit to Jamaica recently. The Premier also offered assistance in addressing transmission issues in areas affected. The delegation also toured several areas in badly affected areas along the country's south coast.
Jamaicans and the 3 Cayman Islands, and of course the governor asked me to extend her warmest regards as well. It's, for me, I feel like I'm coming home. I know Mr. Bush, P.S. Bush, claims Jamaica as home, but as I said to some of the protocol officers, my grandmother on my father's side is buried in Maypin, and my mother's side, her grandmother is from St. Elizabeth, so I am genetically encoded with some of your blood as well.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says that the funds will be used to support individuals severely impacted by the hurricane.
200,000 United States dollars. It's significant, and we appreciate it. And I can guarantee you that this will be used to assist the families who have been displaced and dislocated. In fact, this will go into our Disaster Preparedness Fund, which is essentially managed by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. It will be distributed according to need. So I'm going to hand over this envelope to the Minister of Local Government, who is responsible for ADPEM. And
it's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Florida-based attorney Marlon Hill has revealed that U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, who is of Jamaican descent, has received overwhelming support from Democratic Party delegates in her bid to become the presidential nominee. As the first woman of Jamaican descent to run for the U.S. presidency, Harris's candidacy has generated significant excitement and support, both domestically and internationally. Mr. Hill was speaking on TVJ's Smile Jamaica program Tuesday.
Kamala Harris has secured the backing of over 1,976 Democratic delegates, surpassing the required number to win the nomination in the first round of voting. Florida-based attorney at law Marlon Hill, a Democrat, noted that Mrs. Harris has stronger support among delegates than Hillary Clinton during her 2016 presidential campaign against Donald Trump.
When President Trump was challenging Hillary Clinton, that was 2016, and there was unsettled support at that time. Right now, there's overwhelming support behind Kamala Harris. I was on a call last night with about 22,000 Black men. There was another call that was held the day before with about the same number, if not more, Black women.
Is that the Win for Black Men and Win for Black Women group?
Yes, absolutely. And that was a global call.
He says given the overwhelming support, the vice president is well positioned to secure the nomination, leveraging her strong connections within the Democratic Party and her high-profile endorsement from President Biden.
Her story says it all, right? Black woman, Indian descent, Jamaican descent, went to a historically Black university. She was attorney general. She was a state attorney. She was a U.S. senator. Everything that we ask of our young women to do to excel in the world, she has done it or is doing it right now. What's the purpose of being vice president if you're not ready to be president?
He surmises that her campaign will likely continue to gain momentum as a Democratic National Convention approaches.
Follow the energy that people are exhibiting in regards to their excitement, right? Because candidates need to connect to voters. And if you don't have a connection, then they won't be motivated to do extraordinary things.
Yeah.
And that's what happened 16 years ago. Different generation. So pay attention to that over the next 105 days. It's going to be a wild, wild ride, a very interesting microcosm of where America is right now. But as Jamaicans or persons of Jamaican descent, whether you are wherever you are in the world, this is an important moment, especially for someone like Kamala who speaks to our story. That says a lot and should mean a lot to many of us.
Carrie Simpson, TVJ News.
Concerns are mounting about the Folly Ruins property in Port Antonio, Portland, as it has become a garbage dump. According to People's National Party caretaker candidate for Eastern Portland, Colin Bell, the garbage pileup has reached alarming levels. Mr. Bell is calling on the authorities to intervene and implement measures to prevent further dumping.
To be able to drive to this spot. We can't drive up here. It's blocked with garbage and shoves. I mean, this is the Folly Ruin. This is a historic building. In fact, this building had air condition before many buildings in New York had air condition in it. And this is supposed to be a heritage site. And my God, look at it. What are we doing to Portland? I'm so hurt this morning. I'm so disappointed. I mean, this is a place where people would normally come and hang out, tourists would normally come and visit this site.
Meanwhile, the National Solid Waste Management Authority says it is investigating the matter. It's now time for the Business Minute.
The cost of alcoholic beverages, tobacco products, and associated goods increased by an average 6.4% for the 12 months to June. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica says for the month of June alone, the alcoholic beverages, tobacco, and narcotics divisions recorded inflation of 2.4%. This was mainly influenced by a 7.8% increase in the group tobacco due to higher prices for cigarettes. Alcoholic beverages were up 0.5% due primarily to increased prices for rum. Further afield, U.S. government officials are warning internet users to be extra cautious on the World Wide Web. According to reports, hackers are taking advantage of the major tech outage. The authorities say cyber criminals are promoting fake websites that have malicious software, including some keywords like CrowdStrike. That's the name of the cybersecurity firm that recently had a glitch that caused a tech crisis. The hackers hope to lure victims by promising to repair outages or offering to sell them fake cryptocurrency. According to security experts, these cyber criminals are using this website in an attempt to collect personal data and breach user devices. Right now, there's no automatic fix for the CrowdStrike problem, and some experts say it could take a while before it's resolved. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Carrie Ann Simpson.
Time now for the top regional and international.
Henry Robinson.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report with Jermaine Brown.